this is one of my subscribers, Jessic, right? Cheers, my friend. A pleasure to meet you. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. The architecture is amazing.
So.
Did you just put a beer in the microwave? They used to call it King Kong. How much does it cost to rent an apartment?
It's not cheap, but
it's reasonable. It's really hammered on my channel. Happy days. So guys, I'm in the city of Nova Huta and I'm about to meet one of my subscribers who suggested I come here. Actually, I wanted to come here for a while. And I've just met Gabrisha.
Yeah.
And she's from Nova Huta and I said, is Nova Huta nice? She goes, well... So-so. But I've got great expectations for Nova Huta. So the coffee machine's not working. I've ordered a cup of tea and then we'll wait for Jack to arrive. So thank you.
Thank you.
I headed for the market, but I arrived late, so it was all closing down. And this is the only cafe I could find in the neighborhood, and I was dying to use the restroom. Their menu is all in Polish, so as opposed to Krakow, where they cater very much for the tourists, and you immediately get everything in both Polish and English. In Nova Huta, only Polish. Oh, thank you. Earl Grey. Not bad, actually.
Hello.
Hello, Jessica.
I can't believe we met. I never thought.
Good to see you. So guys, this is what... Come and have a seat. This is one of my subscribers, Jessic, right?
Jacek or Jacek, yeah. You can,
Jacek. But
this is a Polish...
yeah, but he always writes as Jack on the comments,
my
right?
Nickname, right?
The nickname, right. So this guy is actually from Nova Huta, right?
Yes, I live actually on the outskirts. It's, 50 meters further, there's another district, but so it's like on the outskirts. I don't really live in the middle of Nowa Huta,
So guys, we just left the bar and we're heading to the center of Nova Huta, and we're having a chat here because I said to him that yesterday, when I was out and about showing the Jewish quarter, I had one of these zapikanki. He said, oh, they've gone expensive. I said, well, they were all right. I mean, it was quite filling and it cost me like 17 zloty. He said when he was a student, they were about 5 zloty. So
that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
for
triple the price.
Pocket,
Absolutely. But apparently, where I got it yesterday, that's where all the students used to go and eat because it was cheap food. So this city was actually built as a socialist utopia in a ideal form, let's say, of social realism. I can't wait to see this because there are two cities, such cities in the world. There's this one and the other one is Magnitogorsk. That's the one in Chelyabinsk in Russia.
Yeah, it was so distant at that time from Krakow, that actually the people from Nova Huta were primarily workers of the steelworks, right?
Yeah.
They said, well, I don't know what it's like in Krakow, I never go there.
Yeah, it was actually a different city. Now it's a suburb of Krakow. But at the time when it was created, it was a separate city, that is actually, that translates into the new steel mill.
Melting the ore from the ore, producing different metal.
Yeah.
But there is a certain specific mentality of these people, because they were brought from small villages from this region. And they somehow have built their own, mentality, so to say,
And does it still remain? You still sense it? Like, is the mentality of the locals here different to the mentality of the locals in the center of Krakow?
But of course the real locals, because you already have some new inhabitants, which have completely nothing to do with... They didn't go to schools here, they haven't had a childhood here.
Are you an original resident of Nova Huta?
No, I'm not an original resident. But I have my cousin, she's from Nova Huta, and now she lives next door to me, so...
And you can tell a difference, yeah?
Yeah, I can tell the difference. But I think there are more even specific people than she is, that really have this strong mentality,
One thing I can say is that unlike Krakow, which is really pristine, it's beautiful, the architecture is amazing. To me, the architecture is just as amazing. This is a former movie theater, cinema, which now houses a Netto, which I guess is a supermarket.
Yes.
But you can see right away the influence here of this structure and this whole boulevard. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, if you blindfolded me and said to me, opened my eyes and said, where are you? Shit, this could be like anywhere in the Soviet Union, couldn't it?
Yes.
So guys, he's brought me to this place, a place called Maika, established in 1990. The fall of communism here in Poland happened in 1989, which means this would have been one of the first businesses established, you know, as a free business. And it's one of the original places, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. And it used to be called the Wood Place. As a matter of fact, it's still nicknamed, what do they call it? Drewnia. Because it used to be a wood warehouse. And the locals still call it Drewnia. This is actually a bar that dates from the socialist times.
Yeah, because this Drewniak was in the 60s, right? In the 60s, and from the 70s they already opened the bar.
Fascinating. Dziękuję, my friend. Have a great day. Do widzenia. Don't worry, you're not on camera. So guys, we're sat in a bar. What is your name? What's your name? Renata. Nice to meet you, Renata. So guys, just so as you know, I had a gin tonic, and I think the shot size in Poland is 50 milliliters, if I'm not mistaken. Bombay Sapphire, a tonic, and a large beer, which I think is half a liter, all for 24 zloty, which is about 5 euros. Happy days. Did you just put a beer in the microwave?
Yes.
Why? This young lady just put a beer in the microwave and pulled it out. Now that's a first. I've not seen that anywhere in the world.
Well, some people, you know, I don't know, maybe they are sick or, you know, they don't like cold beer because for some reason, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure there are reasons. I've just never, ever
in
seen
Poland it's quite often, you know.
to put a beer in the microwave.
Yes.
That's cool.
Or in some places, you know, they ask you if you want to have a cold beer or from the fridge, or you want to have a beer from the storage room, for example, where it's not so cold.
No, I mean, the tradition of drinking warm beer is very English as well. That's not, it's not surprising to me. But to actually take a cold beer and stick it in the microwave, that I've never seen.
There is also, you know, we have the warm beer, for example, during winter, you know, warm beer with different ingredients like...
like kind of like mulled wine, but mulled beer, yeah? Look at this, guys. Now, traditionally, the pierogis, the traditional pierogis in Poland were called, and pierogis, once again, they're like the Ukrainians' varenikis. It's not the pierogis, the Russian pierogis that are like little, and it's pierogi skie, which is shortened for ruskie, which I've been really hammered on my channel for daring to say that that's Russian, but it's really not. It's got something to do with Ukraine, I don't know what. But anyways, they just refused to write the word ruskie, so they just put pierogi skie. Either way, it's all good. So long as it's delicious, I don't care what they call it. Cheers, my friend. A pleasure to meet you. Na zdrowie.
It's na zdrowie, not na zdrowie. Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. See, every country in Eastern Europe, it almost sounds the same, it's just said a little bit different. Na zdrowie, na zdrowie, na zdarowie, it's like all the same, right? What is your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Nice to meet you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję również.
Do widzenia.
Do widzenia.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I tell you what, guys, this is really surreal walking around here thinking 20 minutes away on the #1 tram is the old town of Krakow. Anybody visiting Krakow, you owe it to yourself to just hop on a tram, come here, walk around, because this is a city like no other. And I hear that just like any good socialist or communist country during the Cold War, they would have had a nice collection of bunkers. Now I hear this city is full of bunkers. Well, right, I don't know if it's a myth or it's true, but like there's a whole city going on underground here. Some people say it's true, some people say it's not true. And guys, I just want to point out, I mean, these buildings are immaculate. That's one thing I can say about Poland. You know, the paneled buildings, the Soviet Khrushchevkas, or, you know, the 9-story buildings of Brezhnev are very apparent here. They're everywhere. But they are maintained like no other. They're painted, they're pleasant to look at. They're not these derelict little old buildings that you're used to seeing. It's as if this city was built yesterday. Amazing, actually. I'm really impressed. As you know, Pope John Paul II, the Polish Pope that eventually became Pope, he was the Cardinal of Krakow for many years, eventually became the Pope in 1978, very smart guy, spoke many languages, and actually the first Pope in centuries to be non-Italian. So it's a very big, prestigious thing. In 1977, they built their church here after a lot of pressure from the locals, because you got to understand, they built this place with socialism, communism in mind. Basically, God does not exist. Everybody's atheist. So they built a city without a church. Now, when you bring in people from the villages to come and live here, that is unthinkable, especially in Poland. The religion here, they're Catholics and very devout Catholics. So to think that would work was really ridiculous. And in 1977, they built this church in the shape of Noah's Ark. You know, the story of John Paul II is really fascinating. As a matter of fact, if you researched it a little bit, it would be like Dan Brown meets Frederick Forsyth. You know, his assassination attempt in the 80s, claiming to be the KGB, funding of the Liberation Union or organizations here in Poland. It's a fascinating story. I absolutely love it. Good morning. Do you speak English? I just want to film your posters. Is that possible? They're so wonderful. Look at that. Nova Huta. Basically, for the worker, right?
It was the first idea when the new city was
built. So this was, and these are the original posters?
Yeah, this is 100% Polish propaganda on 50s.
1950s. Huh? That is amazing. That's how it is today, yeah? So beautiful.
Stairs.
Staircases inside the buildings, yeah?
Inside.
Wow, that's so wonderful. And you're a real estate company here?
This is corner Centrum A.
Ah, okay, that's where we're going now.
And
is this a real estate company?
yes.
So how much does it cost to rent an apartment here? Like
Nova Huta?
yeah, 2 bedrooms,
it's dependent
modern.
on standard, but
Like a new modern apartment, or it's?
so can I?
You can show me pictures.
Show you?
Yeah, thank you so much. What is your name?
Isabella.
Isabella, so nice of you to help me.
So here are. We had two offers. This one first.
So this is 50 square meters.
Yeah,
It's 2,500 a month.
Actually, we have 1,200.
Oh, this is really nice. 47 square
this
meters.
is more expensive, but the standard is
Much higher, yeah.
much higher.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Have a wonderful evening.
Have a good stay in Krakow.
Yeah,
Do widzenia.
love your city. Thank you.
Okay. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Do widzenia.
So guys, anywhere between 2,000 and that one for 2,800, I'm sure we could negotiate it down to 2,500. Rent here in Nova Huta for a 50 square meter apartment that has been done up, which is fairly reasonable.
Reasonable. It's not cheap, but it's
reasonable.
It's reasonable.
So guys, I'm right in the center of Nova Huta. This, once again, construction of a city that was supposed to be a utopia in socialist realism style. As you can see, it's extremely symmetrical. The only odd place is in that far corner over there. From what I understand, what was supposed to be built over there was the town hall. That never happened because very soon Nova Huta became part of Krakow and there was no need for a town hall. But this main square here is divided up into 5 branches, and just down there you can see is the road that leads to the steel mill, which this city...
There's a tram, direct tram, which...
There's a tram that goes directly there for the workers. It was built for the workers.
Unfortunately now there is only this Valsovnia, you know, where they... So there, the big furnaces have been closed down completely because, you know, the owner was ArcelorMittal, and for some reason, I guess because of the CO2 emissions, he decided that
Mittal just shut it down.
Shut it down. So there were 2 furnaces, great furnaces, and they were closed down like 4 years ago.
And then down there is the Rose Avenue.
Yeah. Now they are reconstructing it. It's going to be much greener, you know. You can see there's something.
Well, I heard it used to be very green. It used to have roses on it, but then they got taken away.
Very interesting thing, in the middle of that, let's say, kind of square of Rose Avenue, there was a Lenin monument.
That's what I heard, and it was the biggest one in Poland, wasn't it?
It was quite big.
They used to call it King Kong.
King Kong, yes.
I heard they used to call it King Kong, the Lenin monument that was there. I'll see if I can find a picture. And they actually hated that monument, to the point that they actually tried to blow it up, and the maximum they could do was damage his feet, apparently.
Yes.
So
But then in 1999 it was a big...
they just destroyed it completely, yeah. Now, honestly, guys, if I was living in the communist era, under communist rule, I gotta admit, this is quite nice. I mean, this could be compared to any city like Paris or Belgium. The way it's
the
built.
social realistic style. It you know, had some elements of a classic architecture of the 19th
with the
century.
domes, a lot of domes, and we have a tram from the era. Look at that, guys! What a gift! We have a tram coming around. Let's wave at them. Let's wave. Let's see who's gonna wave back. People are looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, and in contrast, guys, those are the brand spanking new ones. I would ride that over that any day.